Hey y'all, Andrew here, and I'm on the verge of a little thing I like to call a breakthrough. You see, after I was tasked with, extensively looking through the top 5 worst bacterias of all time, I thought, who could be behind this many bacterias that bad? And for extensively looking through my notes and binder here, I think I've narrowed it down to one suspect. Mr. Pathogenic Illness. The world-renowned mastermind himself. The problem is, nobody's ever tracked him down. And I'd have to track him down to get to the bottom of what makes those bacteria so bad. That must be him!
5 hours later.
Yeah, so it turns out bacteria is bad not only due to pathogens, but also gross incompetence. Really makes you wonder. Well, while we wait for Mr. Pathogen to pay us a visit again, I might as well tell you all about what salmonella is.
Okay, let me make something clear. I have never caught salmonella before, nor do I plan on ever catching it in the future. This is purely to give you the information about what salmonella is, how it has affected people and society, and how you can avoid catching it. Without further ado, let's go. The beginning of salmonella can be traced all the way back to 430 BC, as that is the first recorded outbreak of salmonella. It killed a third of the population of Athens, which is pretty crazy, but I'm not surprised, as medication was really awful back then in the early centuries of mankind. And that's not even the only salmonella outbreak that killed that many, because in 1624, over 6,000 people were killed by the bacteria. And it was also a major killer in a war that happened around the same time. And that's not even scratching the surface of all the outbreaks, as millions of them happen yearly in millions of places. I can't cover all of them, but who knows, maybe we can take a look at this topic back in the future and cover all the outbreaks as a whole. But anyways, But I know you didn't come here to see me hear me rant about outbreaks. You came here to learn what the hell a salmonella is, and that's what I will tell you right now, starting with a description of it. As you can see from what I'm throwing up on screen right now, the bacteria is shaped like a rod. Flagella are protruding from the bottom of the bacteria. It is relatively hairy, as you can see, and it can be all kinds of colors, but the example I'm using on screen right now is purple. The bacteria spreads through animal to human contact and rarely spreads human to human, though it is possible. The bacteria mainly attacks through raw and undercooked meat, and the people most commonly at risk of this bacteria are children under 5 years of age, infants who have not been breastfed, and senior citizens, most commonly over the age of 65. Typically, all people are at risk, but those are the ones that are most at risk to this bacteria. Salmonella can be most commonly found within raw meat, but also within processed food, believe it or not. The bacteria most commonly affects the digestive system. Symptoms of this bacteria can most commonly occur after 6 hours and include the following: diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps. They can last for just under a week, which is 6 days. Salmonella is mainly just a very annoying sickness, but if the wrong person catches it, it could be lethal, like I said. If I were to rate the degree of damage, I would give it a 7 out of 10. There is no cure for the bacteria at the moment, but if you do catch it, you should drink plenty of water and fluids to replace the fluids lost by the symptoms. Anyone who is still experiencing symptoms after a week should contact medical assistance.
So that's all the information I know about salmonella at the moment. Now, who knows, like I said, maybe we can take this topic back in the future, or later in the future, and discuss specific outbreaks of the disease or bacteria, or who knows, maybe just look at specific ways it's affected society as a whole, and, well, you know, that's my favorite alarm ever, because it's the alarm I set up that warns me when Mr. Pathogen takes the form of Mr. Salmonella. If we're quick enough, we might be able to catch him. Hey everybody, and welcome to this new segment I like to call Hunting Salmonella. On today's episode, we're going to be hunting salmonella. On the next episode, now I know what you might be saying, but Andrew, there are millions of people with salmonella. On top of that, it's impossible to catch a bacteria in its physical form. How are you going to do that? And to that I say, never doubt me again, because I have a plan. I went to the bacteria store. The guy at the store told me these sticks would catch anything and anything related to salmonella. Now all we have to do is wait for Mr. Salmonella to come and pay us a visit.
6.5 hours later.
Taking longer than I thought. Well, while we wait for Mr. Salmonella to come and pay us a visit, I might as well talk about another bacteria I like to call... We got a live one! Well, this was a complete waste of $140. Always happens to me.
Baba Booey.
But luckily, I was diagnosed with a thing I like to call medical genius. Salmonella! Ah! Salmonella! We couldn't get a cure, so that's the best I can do in these situations.